Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I want to do a declutter video. I haven't done a declutter for a little while, and I've just been like sifting through my makeup like little by little and like putting things aside that have just been like driving me crazy over the last like month. And so I thought it was about time to finish going through my collection and like just show you some stuff I'm getting rid of. I'm not gonna like go through every category and like show you everything. I just have selected some products that it's just time for these things to go. It's been too long. Sometimes it's hard to get rid of makeup and sometimes it's easy. I feel like all year I've been like neglecting doing a video because I'm like, I don't want to get rid of anything. But now as I was like looking through things, I was like, yep, time to go. So I'll try and do this in some kind of order. I just have it in a bag. Oh no, my earring fell out. Where'd the bag go? Hold on, halt. I'm stealing earrings. Where'd it go? Guess I'm taking it back for something else. Well, I'm stealing a bag from another pair of earrings, which these earrings I love so much. I got these on Black Friday at a thrift store, and I just think they're like the most precious little hoops. They're vintage and they're just so dang cute. So cute. Alright, as I was saying, everything is just like in a bag here because I've been setting it aside. So I'm gonna try and sort through some things a little bit. We'll go section by section, I guess. Let's start with some face products. I don't have a lot of face products, but I do have a few. Where was that other one? I literally just saw it. Excuse me, how am I losing things so much? I had a concealer in here. I'm so confused. What is going on? How are things just disappearing on the spot for me? I'll show you this one. So the first thing I'm getting rid of is from Wet n Wild. This is the Photo Focus Stick Foundation. I have it in the shade Shell Ivory, which is like the fair cool tone. I'm not a cool toned skin person, but I had a really hard time narrowing down a shade for this one for me. I used to love the Wet n Wild original Photo Focus foundation, and then I just stopped liking it as much. And so I bought this maybe last year around this time of year, and I thought I was really gonna like it. I feel like I had heard pretty good reviews on it, but I feel like it just wasn't great and it like broke me out. You can't even really see the swatch. It's a little bit too pink for my skin, but it just, I don't know, I feel like it looked weird on my skin. It looked like it was just like setting on, it looked like it was just like sitting on top of my skin and not like looking like my skin. And I just wasn't a huge fan, and I'm pretty sure it was breaking me out, so it needs to go. I didn't use this a ton, and I've been like holding on to it, thinking that I'm gonna use it, and I'm just not. The other face item that has magically disappeared, I'll show you the other one I have of it, I guess. I'm getting rid of one of the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealers. I have two different shades. I have, the shade that I'm keeping is the shade Light Peach. The one I'm getting rid of, I think is called like Fair Neutral, but it's super light. I'm like still so confused as to where that just went. I literally put it in my bag. I saw it as I was pulling out other products. I just found it! Somehow it was stacked in between palettes. How the heck does that happen? Okay. So this one's in the shade Fair Warm, actually. So I'm getting rid of this one. It's so light. I don't know if you've tried to find your shade in this concealer, but the concealer, ooh, that's a little dry. They run so light. I'm usually like a fair shade. This is the fairest shade I've ever seen in my life for concealer. That's like white up against my skin, and I am quite fair. But this was the first one I bought, and I was like, I don't think this is gonna work for me. I've never had a concealer be too light. I don't think that's gonna work. And so I bought the next shade darker that I could find, or like, actually I think it was a few shades darker, the Light Peach color. And that one's okay. I am wearing it today under my eyes. It is like a touch too light, and so I can only wear it during the winter because with any kind of tan, it's just not a good look. But it breaks me out, and so that's like another thing. I keep the other one because I just use it under my eyes, and I don't break out underneath my eyes, so it's fine. But this one is just like too light for anything else, so I'm getting rid of this one. I have one other face product. This is another one from Wet n Wild. This is a loose highlighter. This is the Mega Glow Loose Highlighting Powder, and it's in the shade I'm So Lit. It's fine. I bought this when I was in New York, I think, at the beginning of this year. It just kind of like stuck out to me. I was interested in it. This one just looks kind of strange on the skin. I feel like it has like a chalkiness to it, and it's really subtle. It's right here. But like, you can go in heavy-handed with it, and then it just looks way too much, and so I'm just confused by the formula. I kept trying to make it work for a while, and it's just sat in my vanity since like spring, and I just need to get rid of it. Oh, I have one other face product actually. I have a blush. This is from Pretty Vulgar, and this is a Make Them Blush blush in the shade Prim Vixen. And this was another BoxyCharm item. I got this. It's probably been like 2 years since I've had this, or almost 2 years. And it's quite bright, but I feel like it works. Like there's something about it that you can still make it work. So I did really like it for a while. I actually put it in my favorites for, at one point this was in a favorites video, and I was like, I can't stop using this. I love it so much. But my makeup tastes have definitely changed since then. I never use like a pink blush like this. Now I go for like a much more neutral kind of color, and so I just have not reached for this in literally over a year. And like at the beginning of this year, I was like, all right, I need to use this. I'm gonna bring it into my makeup collection, try and get some use out of it, see if I still like it, and I literally have not used it since, so I just need to bite the bullet and say goodbye. Now let's move on to some lip products. I do have quite a few. Actually, this time last year I did a giant declutter of a lot of my makeup, and I got rid of so many lip products. And so since then, I feel like I haven't purchased any new lip products. I've only been getting lip products in BoxyCharm, which I typically get like one a month. And so I feel like I haven't gotten a ton of lip products, but I feel like I still have a lot, and I'm getting rid of some ones I haven't used in a long time. First one is a Makeup Revolution lipstick. There's like no name on this. This is old. I've had this for a long time, but this is like the deepest purple, like black color. There was a period of time where I was really into dark lips. I thought it was super cool. I loved it. And I just don't wear that anymore. So I'm getting rid of that one, and I've just had it for too long. Another one, kind of similar, this is from Wet n Wild, and this is one of their mega, I don't remember what these are called. They're like classic lipsticks. Everyone raved about them for a long time. This is in the shade Cinnamon Spice, and this was like a really popular shade, I feel like, for a while. Or maybe that was Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb was really popular. This is it here. It is like a really warm brick red color, and I did like it. I've just had it for way too long now. The formula feels like too waxy. It's just kind of gross, and so I just need to kick it to the curb. Let's see, another dark lip. This is a bright lip. This is another one from BoxyCharm. This is from Grande Lips, and it's the Hydra Plump Liquid Lipstick. And it is definitely a liquid lipstick formula, but it's not overly like drying, but it's this like hot purple color. I thought I was gonna be able to make it work, but I think I put it on for like the try on video, and then I wore it maybe like one other time and have not touched it since. This is in the shade Razzleberry, and it's just it's too much for me, so I'm getting rid of it as well. This one is from Kat Von D. It's another one I got in BoxyCharm. I feel like earlier this year, maybe even. This is in the shade Lovesick, and this is a nice, cool, like matte. Well, it's a matte liquid lipstick, but it's like a cool pink color. It's not bad. Like the color is something I would wear. It's this one here. It's just, I'm not crazy about the formula, and I have a Dose of Colors liquid lipstick that's in a very similar shade, and I really like that formula. So I'm going to keep that one and get rid of this one. Another matte liquid lipstick, but this one's a little different. It's not quite as like drying. It's more of just like a lip gloss that's not super shiny. This is from Maybelline, and I've had this for a long time. My sister got this for me a while ago, and it's in the shade Gray Envy, and I loved this for like such a long time. It's right here. It's such a pretty shade. It's like a grayish, like taupey pink color. Really pretty. I feel like I kind of stopped wearing it, and I went to wear it not too long ago, and I think it's going bad, and the scent changed, and it's like a very, very strong scent now, to where like I'll put it on and I can smell it for hours later. Like until I wipe it off, I can smell it, and I'm not into that. The last lip product I'm getting rid of is from Lorac, and this is the Alter Ego lip gloss. And I had to get this because it's in the shade Barista. I got this at Marshall's a little while ago. I think it was from like their brunch collection, but it's not a bad color. I just realized it's really not something that I would wear. It's almost like a concealer look. So it's right here. It's kind of peachy, but like really, really light. And I was hoping it would be more of like a sheer gloss, and it's a very opaque gloss. And it's just not flattering on my skin tone, and so I'm bummed because I really wanted it to work because it's called Barista, and that's like what I do for a living, and so I was super pumped, but it didn't work. So I just have some eye products left. I'm gonna start with like some eyeliners and then finish with palettes because I have quite a few palettes I'm getting rid of. I have 4 eyeliners to get rid of, and they're all just like, oh, actually, this is a brow product. I have 3 eyeliners I'm getting rid of, and they're all like a pencil liner. First one is from Starlooks. This one is from BoxyCharm. And I thought I was really gonna like this eyeliner because it was different than like other liners I had gotten from BoxyCharm. It's in the shade Celestial, and it's, you can barely see it, and I just swatched it like so much. It's kind of this iridescent like green color, and I feel like if it was more pigmented I would like it, but I feel like to use it I just have to like sit there and apply it forever and ever, and then it fades off super fast, and so I just haven't used it because it's annoying, so I'm getting rid of it. Another one from BoxyCharm. This one's from Bodyography, and it's a pencil liner in the shade Emerald. Again, I feel like if it was more of like a green color, I'd be interested in it, but it's like almost like a turquoise color, and I don't like it. So, bye. And then the last liner, this is from Clinique, and I've had this for a while. I got this for Christmas probably like 2 years ago. This is their quick liner for eyes. Intense. I'm so confused by their names sometimes, and I've just had this for too long, and I just never reach for liners like this, but it's a fine liner. Like it works well, it's pigmented, it lasts a while on the eyes. I just don't ever reach for it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. So the first brow product I have is from Billion Dollar Brows, and this is the Microblade Effect Brow Pen, and it's in the shade Dark. This again is something I got in BoxyCharm and just have had like not good luck with it. The idea behind it is it's like this felt tip liner kind of thing for your eyebrows that has like little slits in it, and it's supposed to make these like little like hair strokes in your brows. I just couldn't ever get it to work. Like sometimes I can get it to work on my hand, but for some reason using it on my brows, I don't know if it's like the oiliness of my skin or like the product underneath, it just never ever worked. And it's in the shade Dark, and so it's just like almost like a warm brown color, and that's not something that looks great in my brows, and so I just have not had luck with that at all. Other brow product, this actually used to be a favorite. This is the NYX eyebrow gel, and it's like a waterproof gel. This one's in the shade Blonde, And I think this is maybe like my third tube of this, maybe second, but I use this stuff for a long time. It's kind of a hassle to use, which is why I kind of stopped using it, because you have to like take a little bit, squeeze it out, and then go in with like a little brush and like brush it through your brows. But I felt like when I did use it, it like held my brows in place super well. This was before I used like a brow mascara, and so I think I was enjoying the effect I got with it for holding my brows in place. But now I have mascaras for that, and I don't need this, and it was just too much of a hassle, so I stopped using it. And this is honestly just, it's been way too long since I've used this. I have one mascara. This is another Wet n Wild product. This is the Mega Volume Mascara. They rebranded all of their mascaras like last year, like early this year. And I feel like it said like new formula on the package, and so I was immediately drawn in. I hadn't tried a Wet n Wild mascara in a very long time, but they're super inexpensive, and I just thought the package on this was adorable. I'm pretty sure I got this at the same time as I got that loose powder highlight in New York, and I just didn't like this. It was terrible. Honestly, it like didn't do anything for my lashes, and so it's just sat in my vanity ever since, and I need to get rid of it. I have a liquid shadow from Cover FX I'm getting rid of. This is the Shimmer Veil in the shade Amethyst, and this is another BoxyCharm product. And I actually really enjoyed this when we got it, and I think it's a good product. The color isn't exactly like a color for me. It's a little too like cool tone, like purple for me. I feel like it doesn't look super great on my eyes. And so I actually got, I think this May, another liquid shadow from BoxyCharm that I love so much. It's from Ciate London, and I use that all the time. And since then, this one's just fallen by the wayside, and I haven't really used it. I have one single shadow, another BoxyCharm. There's going to be a theme here coming soon. A lot of these things are from BoxyCharm. This is the Ace Beauty Glimmer Shadow in the shade Cotton Candy. And this is really pretty. It's just not a great color for me. I just feel like it looks weird on my skin and like with my eyes. It's pretty. It's like a really pretty like rose gold color that's like very warm and like pinky orange almost. So it's pretty. I just don't feel like it looks good on me, so I'm getting rid of it. This is from Butter London. This is the Natural Goddess palette, and this isn't bad. Like, I think the quality's fine. I just don't reach for any of these colors. The only color I like from here is the shade Enchantress, and it's like the lightest champagne color, and I have plenty of shades like that in my collection, and so I think this is good. I just don't ever reach for it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. You know what, I just have one other palette from BoxyCharm. This was from April, I think. This is the Festival palette from Pure. And I think this palette's okay. Like, I don't think this is a bad palette. It's just not something I reach for. Like, the shades are very warm, especially if you just like cross out that blue and pink there, you're left with like a very neutral palette. And I think it's fine. It's just not something that like inspires me or like makes me excited, and so I'm just gonna get rid of it. I think I used it like maybe 3 or 4 times, and then it's just been sitting in my vanity. This one I had such high hopes for. I've tried another Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. It's been a few years ago now. It was like a palette that was supposed to be like the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, so it was like a very like cool tone pink palette, and I actually really enjoyed that palette. I thought it was a good quality, and so this one is called the Reloaded Division palette, and I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like the Anastasia Subculture palette, but I just couldn't ever get this to work well. There's a few shades in here that like really stuck out to me. This like green shimmer shade I thought was beautiful. These like yellow tones down here I really enjoyed. Some of the like greens. And so I was like super hyped about this palette, and I just couldn't ever get it to perform in the way that I wanted to. And so I've been like holding on to it, hoping that I will finally get something to work from it, and I just haven't, and so I'm getting rid of it. This is another palette that I got for Christmas a few years ago, and actually at this last Christmas when I did like a declutter, this was one of the things that I like almost got rid of, but was like, no, I'm gonna hang on for it right now. I'm gonna try and like use it and see if I still like it. This is the Copper Spice 25A palette from Morphe. And this is a quite large palette. There's 25 shades in here, and they are all very warm and like, well, there's like some neutral colors, but like a lot of warm orangey gold colors. And I think some of these are really pretty. Like, I think this is a good palette. There's too much of the same in here for me to like be inspired by it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I feel like when I look at it, I'm like, wow, I can get like a brown look or like a orangey yellow look or like a gold, and that's it. And with the 25 shades, I feel like I should be able to get a lot more looks out of it. And so I just haven't been reaching for it. I think it's a fine quality. Like, I don't think it's bad. I just am not inspired by it. And the last thing, I was debating on whether to get rid of this or not, but I just honestly haven't used this like really at all this year. This is the Morphe and Kathleen Lights palette. This palette right here is actually what made me start a YouTube channel. I had thought about starting a YouTube channel for a very long time and was just always like, no, that's not, I don't have time for it, or that's not something that I think I'd be good at. I don't think I'll do well. And then Kathleen Lights came out with this palette with Morphe, and I think I was like semi looking for an excuse to buy it. Like, I just really wanted it and was like, okay, if I buy it, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. And I did, and it was my first video. I was reviewing this palette. Well, actually it was like a first impressions. And I think this palette is really nice. I think there's a really great collection of colors in here. You kind of have like some warm red colors before that was even like really a thing. You have some like green, like cool tone colors. I used this palette a lot. I mean, you can tell I hit pan on a few of these shades. I've made a ton of progress in like these like red colors. I think they were super pretty. This was like one of my favorite colors in the palette. It's like a mustardy yellow color. I loved this like dark green color and this like gray color. I loved this palette, and I think I've just been holding on to it for too long because it was like a sentimental thing. I've had this for 3 years now, and I just think it's time to let it go. It served its purpose for me. This was like my everyday palette for such a long time. And I think it's just time to let it be free in the world. So those are all the products I'm getting rid of. It's not a ton, but it's definitely like a substantial amount to kind of like clear through my makeup a little bit, not be distracted by things that I'm not really enjoying. So if you have anything that you've been getting rid of or like you feel like you need to get rid of, I'd love to hear about it down below. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would love to have you around. And until next time, bye guys.